Alright, so here's another speed VOD review of Invictus Gaming versus Fnatic. This is from the final Worlds group stage. So far, the ban starting out: Swain, Tomcat. Swain is it only being banned against Fnatic? It's a really surprising ban. I guess maybe because Fnatic's desire to be able to play at top and mid lane. Akali, Aurelia, and Camille being banned away by Fnatic. Alistar first on blue side. I really still do not think that it's as important as some other champions in the game, but Fnatic managed to get themselves a hold of both Aatrox and Urgot. And now Invictus Gaming actually going to be able to get a hold of Kai'Sa and Ryze, and it's handed back over to Fnatic. This is where they could have... now, the problem here is that because you already have Aatrox and Urgot locked in, you can't actually counterpick the Ryze, because obviously Urgot or Aatrox has to go mid lane. Fnatic basically says that because no ADCs are banned out, but there is a support banned out, I guess they end up picking up the Braum right now. Also should be noted that red side Braum, very easy to be defensive and play scaling. You just back up and play defensively. Everything ends up being okay. Now we're moving into the second ban phase. LeBlanc and Taliyah being banned away for Fnatic. I do think the Taliyah ban is quite okay, but if you were to play a front-to-back team composition for Fnatic, I don't think that you need to ban the Taliyah, because we've seen a team composition in the past where they run Taliyah with Ryze and whatnot, and they don't really have an ability to play front-to-back as long as Alistar is able to be negated. And so now Tristana is picked up for Fnatic, and you can see that the ADCs were indeed pinched. So had the ADC pick came in instead of the Braum, then we would have definitely seen the supports be pinched. Lee Sin ends up getting picked up by Invictus Gaming. Not really a good pick, I don't think. I think that their team composition is very hit or miss. Yes, they have access to a 1-3-1. They have access to Fiora. The issue is that, so this matchup, let's talk about everything right now. This matchup is super volatile. A lot of people don't know about Fiora versus Aatrox, but Aatrox can always make it so that Fiora doesn't at least get the stun by maneuvering his E, but you have to be really good with the E timings. There's also special interactions with Aatrox's EQ that you can change where he is positioned despite not altering the hitbox of his Q. I don't really know how to describe this. Max has talked about it on stream in the past whenever we've done solo Q stuff, and he's also shown it on stream. I'm unaware how Whippo, one of his most played champions, I do believe, is Aatrox. So this matchup's really good. Fiora, obviously, as long as you're doing frame perfect stuff and Aatrox isn't using the E the way that he can, then Fiora is always going to have priority on the stun. So the matchup is actually really exciting. And later on into the game, Aatrox can actually resist against Fiora to a certain extent just by being a little bit more mobile and being able to run away with his knockups. But if Fiora gets too far ahead, Aatrox can never actually stabilize. So even if Aatrox gets ahead, Fiora can actually still recover, whereas the same isn't able to be said for the flip. So in the mid and jungle matchup, one of the things that can be noted here is that you have Urgot mid against the Ryze, and I think that Fnatic won, or actually, wait a minute. I don't know if this is actually, so I haven't seen these games. I should have waited until 20 seconds, because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, wait a minute, Urgot actually does not make sense against the Ryze. There has to be a swap coming in. Okay, so Aatrox, I've never watched the games. I haven't watched the games. I'm so sorry, Twitch chat. Alright, so anyways, now let's talk about Urgot versus Fiora. Alright. So Urgot versus Fiora. You have same thing, potential for a lot of chaos, except if Urgot actually gets ahead, it becomes way too oppressive for Fiora, and Fiora's going to need help from Lee Sin in order to recover. In the mid lane, Aatrox is actually behind Ryze. If you just leave him alone in the isolated 1v1, Ryze is able to get very far ahead in the CS department, and a lot of pressure is actually on Broxah to alleviate Rookie's ability to just pressure Caps, put him underneath the turret, fade any sort of Aatrox pressure, and then just allow Rise to gradually scale basically into the mid game completely untouched. And then obviously you have the scaling on Sadakaisa, you have scaling on Tristana and whatnot, but both of these team compositions are extremely explosive mid-game team comps. If Fnatic gets ahead, it is almost impossible for this IG team composition to actually stabilize. But if this game goes into the mid-game, it can still be decided by team fights. I think that in that regard, the team comps are semi-even. I would actually give the edge to Fnatic because I think that their champions, just in terms of base ability, is a little bit stronger than IG. So I'm talking about like the 12 to maybe 16-minute mark team fights that maybe we can expect to occur around Dragon or whatnot. And then obviously super late game, it depends where the gold is actually allocated. That dictates how you talk about the map movements and everything. Okay, so we're having a 5-point opening for Fnatic and IG. Looks like Broxa is going to be starting on his red. Curious if he's actually going to go for any sort of early game Xin Zhao shenanigans. He might just actually go red into blue into Scuttle and try to keep pressure that way. Oh, he's actually just going to do red into, it seems like, Scuttle Crab. So Scuttle Crab just came up. And this is actually going to prevent Ning from trying to do anything funny inside of the blue side jungler path onto the right-hand side. Lee Sin actually just does the red into Golems. And they know about Xin. Now Ning comes over and eats the Scuttle Crab. So Broxa was looking to make something happen, but ended up being spotted out. And it was very easy for IG to just play around it naturally due to the pathing of their jungler and how mid lane was being played out. So nothing really too chaotic is happening yet. Really excited to see Bwipo playing in the series. I thought that this would actually be their best chance to take down IG, is by playing Bwipo instead of Soaz. Caps is falling really, really far behind in CS, and the lane is already being a little bit rough for it. The lane is already turning out to be a little bit rough. Rookie has the lane state in a fantastic position. Rookie's able to pile up now 2.5 minion waves and then crash it into the turret. And with this crash into the turret, because of the range, Rookie should be able to just eventually come back, start poking him with auto attacks, hitting him with E's, W's, etc. And you really need Broxa to alleviate pressure. Although it looks like Rookie just wants to crash the wave and then look for a teleport. Facts. Caps does not actually have teleport available. So you can see Rookie instantly TPs back into the lane. He already has a 13 CS advantage, and he's going to crash the wave. And what ends up happening here is, because of the size of this wave, the incoming wave from Aatrox is actually going to be a little bit stunted. It's still going to be in front of the turret, which means that there can be a 2-minion stockpile, or 2-wave stockpile, and it crashes back into Rookie. And then we can actually see what happens in a lot of Apto VOD reviews, where Rookie has the option to permafreeze the lane here. And it's very difficult for Caps to actually break this without his jungler, or having just his jungler in close proximity so that he's able to use his Qs and his Es whilst taking a little bit of damage so that he's not in any real danger. One thing I guess that we could end up seeing is, when you know that Rookie might try to go for a freeze, you could try to do some sort of counter gank shenanigan type things, where Broxa just stands in close vicinity, and then as Caps is trying to unlock the freeze, maybe you expect that Ning tries to gank him, and then you just, like what's happening here. So you can see that Broxa was around, Ning was there as well. The problem is that any match gank for IG, if IG doesn't actually commit to the gank, Fnatic ends up losing out. You can already see it's a 16 CS difference in mid lane. And one thing you have to remember is, you don't look at this and you're like, LOL, Caps down 22 CS. No, this is very similar to like Fizz, where you didn't judge Fizz by, how much CS was Fizz down, or like Jace versus Poppy. right? If Jace is at 100 CS and Poppy's at 90, Poppy won. If Jace is at 100 and Poppy's at 85, Poppy won. If Jace is at 100 and Poppy's at 80, it's pretty fucking even. If Jace is at like 100 and Poppy's at like 75 or 70, Jace wins. And then anything worse than this is still considered a victory for Jace. So you have to judge it very similar in that regard. You don't just look at this as Caps being down. You have to actually factor in the matchup and assume what it means. It's very, very difficult. It is so difficult to keep up in CS in this matchup. Ryze is actually one of the best answers to Aatrox in the game. Right here, you have Broxah come down. They end up getting a kill on Baolon. And you can just see he's getting zoned out of so much CS. It's so difficult for Aatrox to actually walk up to the Ryze. So unless something actually starts happening, I like what Bwipo's doing right here. He crashes the wave in top, he's coming into mid. And even if this doesn't do anything, this is something that I like to call a prank. This is a term that I coined a year ago. I've been using it very frequently on the stream. So obviously the P stands for pressure, right? And then the rank, or the PR stands for pressure, and then ANK comes from gank. So pressure gank. It's not intended to kill. It's not intended to necessarily blow summoners. If it blows summoners, then it's a positive. But what it's meant to do is alleviate all of the pressure in the lane to allow your laner to salvage the situation and get the lane back to an even state where they're not continuously being denied CS, zoned out of things, or just outright losing gold and whatnot. So let's try to get that. It's just a prank, bro. It's just a... Oh, man. And now Bwipo able to get back up to top lane. You can see he's not really losing too much. So those movements that he just did, they can potentially have game-changing impacts, especially if IG is not responding or they don't know what's going on and they end up being caught off. It can completely skew what's happening in mid lane. Okay. And so now Reckless and Hylissing, is that how you say it? Having a little bit of a trade down there. The Shy going for an ultimate, but he's not able to actually find lethal on Bwipo. And you can just see this, lots of attention right now being devoted to mid lane. And this is actually starting to hit the breaking point. So Rookie is winning. Rookie does look like he's probably going to hit 100, and then Caps will be at around 70. So that is a little bit problematic. So Rookie definitely is winning in mid lane, and you can see that Fnatic is trying to devote some attention to stopping the bleeding. Broxah here, you see Ning. This is so good for well, that's not good though. This is so good that the match gank is trying to come out. You can see that that was really, really slow by Ning. I don't know what the hell just happened. Wait, what? Kick. Ning messes up. No, it is good. This is good for IG. Ning messed up. Ning messed up. Kick QQ. No. Broxah shouldn't be able to react faster than Lee Sin. No. Lee should be able to react to this way. Like, they know he's here. They know he's coming. Oh, that is so bad for IG. That never should have happened. They end up getting Caps. Oh, they're going to kill him? That is actually beautiful damage foresight. That's really, really, really good damage foresight. You can see the Shy now. He wants Broxah. Ends up getting it. Bwipo's here now as well. Not actually going to be able to kill Fiora. He's just going to end up clearing the wave. All in all, I would say that this trade is actually more beneficial for Fnatic because you allocated all of the gold into the person that was bleeding the most. And while normally that's not really that good, you know, when you have, all right, I can actually make some really dark analogies and dark comparisons, but I'm going to stay away from those. Basically, imagine that like you have a house and the foundation of it is rotten, and so it doesn't really matter what you put into the house is still going to collapse. That's not what's actually happening here. Caps basically, you know, he just needed a little bit of love, just needed some loving. All right. Now that he actually has the gold, it becomes increasingly more difficult for Ryze to actually continuously exert pressure over him, because you can see he has the Mercury Treads, he had it before, now he has the CDR from the Warhammer. I think he's actually just going to go Yumu's first item. This is really, really unfortunate for Fnatic, not able to get the kill onto Rookie right there. Didn't have any other ways to put them down, so IG barely manages... I didn't finish that sentence. Barely manages to escape there without any deaths. Reckless looks like he's going to be able to get the bottom tier 1 turret. Aatrox has a lot of pressure, still very healthy in mid, but it looks like Caps is recalling, probably going to get Yumu's. Okay, oh, never mind. He just gets Dirk, and now he's coming back into the lane. Look at how much he clicks. Oh, it's such good wiggling. It's such good wiggling. It's just such good wiggling to watch. That right there is different. It's so... Oh, he's baiting with wiggles. It's really good. It's really, really good. Like, these subtle things, right? You can watch this as an analyst or something and be like, you just see it, right? You just see, like, Fiora's on the screen and Urgot's on the stream. You have to, like, these like the micro centimeters. Now, people are gonna be like, oh, LS is biased because he, you know, fucking has a hard on because he says he found Whippo or whatever. The micro increments that he's moving in and away from Fiora is trying to bait a lunge, and then he can turn and punish really quick. And that's what these subtle movements are right here. That's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. Okay, and Fnatic end up getting a kill onto Rookie, and this is really, really, really painful. Rookie was almost riding Caps 50 in CS, which I do agree that that's a little bit excessive. I think that at 15 minutes having like a 30 CS lead or like a 35 would be more reasonable in the Ryze Aatrox matchup. But I do think that almost 50 CS is quite excessive, and I think that that's a testament to how good Rookie's laning is and how good his pressuring ability is. You can see they just managed to get right onto him. His flash not really, just a hair away. Yeah, it's almost 50. Alright, look, the reason that it's almost 50. Look, before he dies. Let me explain to you why this is almost 50. Okay, wait, what? What? So, Caps is at this HP. If Hylissang isn't here, Caps can only sustain one more wave, which means that you assume that Caps is only going to get like 4 out of the next. So, Rookie's going to go up +6, Caps is going to go up most likely +4. Then Caps has to recall, which means that Rookie goes up +6. That's how this works. So you get 103 versus, okay, 153. That's how this works. If Hylissing is not there, he doesn't go for the bad trade, but it doesn't change that on the next wave, he's going to lose all of his HP. Like, let's say that his HP is still here, right? The issue is that on the next trade, his HP will go to here, okay? You cannot stay in lane against this Ryze that's going to have flash at this point. Anyways. You can't just look at a lane like where it currently is. You have to look at it like 30 seconds in advance. Because if you win out on a recall, this is actually how bottom lanes can end up being decided. If you know that there's a minion wave coming in, but the opponent can't stay for it and you can, your CS, your current CS is not indicative of what the actual score is. It's +6. It's always going to be +6 because you get to shove this wave, it crashes into the turret, and then that turret takes time to CS your minions, which gives enough ample time for the next wave to come out of the Nexus and now slow push into you, which then means that you're going to have position inside of the lane because it's going to be in front of your turret. You can see this in any Apto-VOD review. He's extremely good at doing this, and this is traditionally what he does often to win lanes. Yes, but Cap shouldn't continuously be down 50 CS after the pressure relief that was granted to him. That's what I'm saying, unique control. Like, at certain points he can get 4-6, but there's other points where it shouldn't be that bad. Okay. So now Fnatic looking to capitalize on Rift Herald. They rotated up into top lane. Now, here's something that I like. Let me comment on this. So, some people are gonna think, well, LS, you criticize KT for this. Why don't you criticize Fnatic? So in this instance, right, Fnatic is going up into top lane and they're gonna get top tier 1 turret. And some people are gonna be like, but LS, the Mountain Drake's still up. And yes, I agree that the Mountain Drake is still up. I also agree on how, I also acknowledge how explosive this team composition is, and how tempo and control is really important. If you rotate up into top lane to get this turret, you bolster your gold, but then you're in close proximity for the Herald, and the Herald is exactly what you need to crack the mid-tier 1 turret, because Aatrox is unable to get any damage onto it due to the nature of the Aatrox Ryze matchup. So you get the turret, you get the Rift Herald, you get the mid-tier 1 turret, and then you have priority in 3 lanes. I think that this acceleration of gold is more beneficial than trying to get the Mountain Drake and keeping your bottom lane in bottom. Is there a situation where you can keep your bot lane in bottom and then get the Mountain Drake and then try to defend mid and get the Herald? Yes, I do think that there is a situation where you can end up doing that. I don't fault Fnatic for the choice that they're making here, because this is actually a really big blitz play. And then on top of that, if IG messes up anything, it can even result in a much higher gold gain. Like, for instance, if IG tries to contest the Rift Herald, Rookie has to be there. Rookie has to go off. Kai'Sa does have her tier 1 item, but it's important to entertain everything. That was really fucking good by the Shy. And Fnatic able to repel that. And what the hell just happened to Jackie Love? Oh, okay. Really, really good play by Fnatic here. Blitzkrieg. Oh my god, that was one of my Smurfs in StarCraft 1. Blitzkrieg. Yeah. That was really, really sick by the Shy. So now Fnatic's gonna end up getting the Rift Herald. This is a super, super important objective for them. Also, I don't disagree that Mountain Drake is super big for both parties. More so IG than it would be for Fnatic due to their team composition. So it is a little bit unfortunate that they have to give it up to IG, but I think that the gains that they get in the short term is definitely worth it for trying to accelerate really far ahead of IG. It is scary given that IG is blue team and they have the luxury of turtling their blue side jungle later on with Ryze and Kai'Sa, but there is still some scaling on Fnatic as well. And I think that the jungler difference, the longer that the game goes on, is really, really important. Okay, what the hell was just Caps doing? I don't know what Caps is. What's Caps doing? Caps is doing that thing about luxury vision. Is that what's going on? See, yeah, he was killing luxury vision. Yeah. Oh, that was... Oh, man. Oh, if Rookie just ulted better. Oh, wait, did they not know? Was that blind? If Rookie ulted better. Fnatic would have gotten completely dumpstered because Caps was being greedy for luxury vision. Did Baolan just fucking flash? What? Fucking Leroy Jenkins. Fucking Leroy. Oh, wow. Reckless isn't taking any shit today. Straight out of solo queue. Wow, they're gonna get mid tier 1 without using Herald. Oh, this is so big. So what Caps needs to do here, okay, is they need to orchestrate a 1-4-1. Okay? 1-4-1 into 0-0-5. Or into, alright, 1-4-1 into 1-0-5. Yes. Now, some people are probably wondering, oh, how can you get 6 players? I'm talking about a herd. So you need to create a herd. Herd, is it so, again, we're gonna fucking be introducing you guys to some new vocabulary. So we got prank and we got herd. You guys ever watch The Walking Dead? You know what a herd is? Okay, a herd is a giant group of fucking zombies. So, facts. Allie Larson. Alright, Caps needs to create a herd. Alright. So, he needs to create a herd up on top. So, the way that you're going to do that is you thin all of the spellcaster minions and you leave the melee minions. And you do not CS the entire wave, and then you just leave the lane. And obviously, Rookie can walk up there and he can try to thin it out and then CS it, but then it's going to mean that he has a delayed response into mid lane. So, no matter what, you can at least get the mid tier 2 turret. And then you can wrap down into bottom lane and get stuff. Propose facial game. Right here, right here, right here, right here. Thin it, thin it. Don't CS the whole wave. Son of a bitch. Just thin it and then go down to Scuttle Crab with Xin. It doesn't even matter that, because this wave wouldn't be here yet. It would still be up here, and then Aatrox would be around here, and then maybe Zin's around here too. Reckless is in close proximity. You keep Braum in mid lane. You move him onto the left-hand side. This is all fine. Okay. So, even though they still end up getting mid-tier 2 turret, I don't think that it's as strong as it could have been. You don't, it's not just about clearing, like, you can clear, like, 2 casters to, depending, alright, so, making a herd, making a slow push, and, so, I have, like, 3 terminologies that I use in my VOD reviews historically. I have Glacier, slow push, and then herd, right? Glacier is a slow push that will eventually thin itself out on its own. A herd is capable of going all the way. And then obviously everyone knows what a slow push is. So Glacier is just slow moving, you know, thing. So these are the 3 terms that I use in VOD reviews. I believe that, I mean, everyone uses slow push nowadays. I think Glacier was used a few times in Worlds 2016. Not just by me, but by other casters, because we talked about it backstage. But I think I'm the only person that uses it, and then prank as well. Prank stands for pressure gank. So that's all. What's the difference? So prank stands for pressure gank. That's pressure gank. Slow push is just a slow moving push into the opponent's turret that has the potential to freeze, but it's not strong enough to eventually move on and cause a herd. Glacier is a slow push that you know will keep moving slow, but again, it won't take a turret. These are really similar. Glacier is something I usually talk about during laning phase and not after laning phase, and then obviously a herd is something that's capable of actually raising turrets. I actually talked about a herd in yesterday's VOD review. There was like four or like 5 minion waves piled up in bottom lane. I think it was even no, it wasn't in the Fnatic game. It was, what game was it in? I actually forget what game it was in. And it could have raised the inhibitor turret and the inhibitor. So, okay. At this point, Fnatic ends up getting the Infernal Drake. I'm getting flashbacks to Misfits versus SKT. Oh, okay, never mind. The second Infernal is not coming up. It's really insane when a team can keep RNGing Infernal Drakes in like a decisive match. It just seems like the stars are aligning for them. So in this particular spot, Fnatic's up about 4k gold. It looks like IG is actually going for a pretty cheesy Baron. And you can see the timing in which they're actually going for it. The map is extremely dark. You have to wonder how much does Fnatic know about jungle clear timers. Ryze is actually most likely going to show himself. This is actually a pretty cheeky timing to go for this. And you can see that Fnatic's being a little bit hesitant moving towards the Baron, but they do end up scoping it out. And now they're clearing out vision around the left-hand side because there's no neutral objective up on the other side of the map. So they're clearing out vision around the Baron. It is 25 minutes, and you also do have to respect that IG has a Mountain Drake, so they can clear it very fast. Urgot able to just hold Fiora underneath the turret down in bottom. So Fiora's not yet at a point where she can just laugh at him. Now look at what Bwipo's doing here. He eats that final wave, and then this turret, what does this actually mean for IG? It's only about 100 gold. Right? They're gonna get, or Fiora's gonna get 100 gold. This is not going to cause IG to win the game. So, next minion wave's about to come onto it, but the Shy, if he ends up staying here and Bwipo just goes to the Baron, he's gonna have his summoners available, and then the Shy is gonna be reliant on a teleport. The problem is that Fnatic just cleared out all of the vision, although it seems like they don't know about this ward right here, but Fnatic cleared all the vision. And so what they probably think is that the Shy can't get a very good teleport for any sort of a flank, and so Reckless is going to be able to fight front to back, and it's going to be almost impossible for Ning to get onto Reckless, and he should just, in theory, have free deal, which also means that Bwipo should be able to get a lot of damage. So I'm curious to see if that one ward is actually going to cost Fnatic the fight, because that's an insane fucking ward. It's potentially an insane ward. Let's see if that's where the teleport actually... No, it ends up being a teleport on the left-hand side. That's a really... What? Whoa, I don't know what Balon's doing. I have no idea what Balon's doing. You have a Lee Sin that's even in level with Broxa. I think that if you teleport in Fiora here, you make it so that Fnatic has to keep committing spells and putting some of their members on cooldown, right? We talk about this all the time. Like, if you're doing Baron, some of your spells go on cooldown. Like maybe Tristana's Q or something, or Aatrox's Q, maybe Xin, one of his abilities go on cooldown. You teleport Fiora in here to make it so that Fnatic might have to peel right here, in which case Fiora can just come over the wall with her R and riposte. Or Fnatic tries to hug this wall, or hug right here, in which case IG gets a naturally better concave, and still it's a fucking Lee Sin against a Xin. Yes, Xin can press R and whatnot, but this is a really dicey Baron steal, and I think that you apply enormous amounts of mental pressure to Fnatic if you play it like that. I don't like what Balon's doing, and I really don't like the teleport from the Shy. Looks like Fnatic's actually just cleaning this fucking up. Holy shit. Oh my god. IG looks like they were asking for that, like they were 100 Thieves. Let's just watch this fight one more time. Yeah, I don't know what Jackie Love's doing. He keeps playing really, really bad. He has flash. He has flash, right? It says he has flash. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He didn't ult and he didn't flash. Fucking Christ. I think he saw Tarzan's tweets. He saw Kai'Sa was getting nerfed. He's trying to give Riot a reason to take it off the PBE. He's like, no. Not like this. Oh, he got feared? Yeah, but still, he has flash and ult. It shouldn't get to a point where he can get feared. No, he should be flashing and ulting before he even gets feared. Come on. Also, you can't watch this game and the rest of Fnatic's group stages and actually say to yourself that Fnatic is not the best Western team that has ever played at Worlds. This is the strongest and most decisive looking Western team. It's not even close. TSM 2016? Fnatic 2015? No. No thanks. The only thing stronger than Fnatic might be 100 Thieves' ass muscles after this tournament. Definitely probably got its workout. Got its fair share. It looks like Fnatic's actually just going to end the game. Holy shit. That was really decisive. Let me just take another look at their post-Baron. Yeah, they recall. Fnatic's actually looking really, really fucking scary. In the games that I've watched them, they're playing so well here. Wow. It was really good. It was just really decisive. They exploded. I really like... I mean, they assessed when mid lane was getting too problematic. They tried to help out Caps. I think that Broxah was doing a fantastic job with his pathing. Ning looks like maybe he belongs on 100 Thieves. Whippo actually didn't really do too much this game. He had a few rotations that were decisive and probably being made by himself that I think were really good. But this isn't like a lot of people were probably looking at this match and thinking like, why did I want to see Whippo play in it and whatnot? I don't think that we really got to see why I was so adamant about my belief that Whippo should play this match. But I mean, I don't think that he did bad by any means. I think that, like, obviously the fear in that fight was really good. I think Jackie Love and Ning look extremely boosted. Jackie Love's performance here would only probably be... I don't know. This is one of the worst ADC performances I've seen in the tournament. Reckless looked extremely decisive in the entire game. This whole thing just looked really, really nice. I'm really impressed with Fnatic. Rookie, however, is a fucking monster. If you guys watched his laning phase, you watched his rise movements, they were so insane. The Shy was also really, really on point mechanically this game with some stuff. This whole game was actually just, it was good. It was decisive. It seemed like both teams knew what they wanted to do, except for Jackie Love. He didn't know that he wanted to flash. So a little shout out to Double Lift there. So we're going to see what happens in game number 2.